So right now we are looking what is the CSS selectors. So in the last video I explained about the CSS selectors briefly. So in this video just I would like to concentrate on what is ID selector. So ID selector, ID attribute of the HTML tag element is used to select the element. Say for example, if we have an HTML like this, ID, let me name that HTML as ID selector. So here, what I'm going to do is just I would like to define two paragraphs. This is the first paragraph, and this one is the second paragraph. This one is the second paragraph. We have two paragraphs. So here, what I'm going to do is just I would like to add the ID attribute. ID attribute. So this ID attribute is A and this ID attribute is B, equivalent to B. So we have two different ID attributes. So one more important thing is here, once if you want to use the ID selector, okay, so that is very important to understand. It should be the valid identifier. Should be the valid identifier, valid CSS identifier. What are all the rules and regulations for a valid CSS identifier? Say for example here A is valid CSS identifier because it's an ASCII character. So if you want the identifier to be a valid, it must be an ASCII characters, or it must be the decimal digit starts from 0 to 9, or it must be associated with hyphen or underscore. Hyphen as well as underscore is permissible, and we can use some escape characters also. Say for example here, so here A is a valid identifier, A1 is also valid identifier, A123 is also valid identifier. But if you give this is an escape character, this character, you must use an escape characters like this. Otherwise, it's not a valid identifier. It's not a valid identifier. If it is not a valid identifier, it omits the CSS automatically omit it. So that is the main important rule. So this time, what I'm going to do is just I would like to explain only about how we are going to write the CSS by using this ID selector. That is the main core of this video. So what I'm going to do is, say for example here we have one paragraph. Let me take one example. What is machine learning? What is machine learning? So machine learning, we have a lot of information. No, let me copy and paste it here. Okay, copy and paste it here. So this is about machine learning, and this paragraph is going to talk about what is deep learning. So it's a very big paragraph. Let me take all these in order to make our content to be more good. So this is the another content. Okay, if you call this, if you execute this program, so we have two paragraphs. One is the machine learning and another one is the deep learning. One is the machine learning and another one is the deep learning. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just I would like to apply the CSS for this ID selector. So right now just I would like to make the ID selector A. So if you want to use the ID selector to select the element with the ID, you can use the hash followed by in style tag, within the style tag. Okay, so within the style tag, use hash followed by the ID value of the element. What is the ID value of the element? A. So that is A followed by the declaration, and you can define the property. The property is color. color is with red. So once if you save, you can see the paragraph with the id is selected, and it display the particular paragraph in the color of red. Suppose if you change the id selector id value to b, then it will automatically select this element and it display the color in red. Look, now it display the color of the paragraph, next paragraph in red. So this is very important to understand the selection process of the element or tag by id selector, id by the id selections. So this is a very good example of explaining what is id selector. Okay, here hash followed by a, and then background color is cyan. Now you can see the background of the particular paragraph will be represented in cyan color. Okay, so that's good. So this is a very good example of how we are going to make use of the id selection. So keep it in your mind that if you want to give the valid identifier only permissible. Say for example, so if I am giving question mark, so the question mark is not a valid. Question mark is not a valid. Suppose if you give the question mark like this, you can use the escaped characters. So this is very important. Okay. It's working. 1 2 3 slash question mark, and you go and change it to so let me try with some other example. Okay, later check. We will check with some other examples what is valid identifier. Okay, in future. Let me try with 1 2 3 1 2 3. So here 1 2 3. So it's perfectly working. This is perfectly working. Okay, if you add hyphen or underscore, again don't forget to give hyphen or underscore over here. That is also perfectly working. Okay, underscore is working, hyphen is working. So go and change the valid identifier. So it's perfectly working. So let me give the clear indication what is the valid identifier in a separate video. Okay, so this video is about to explain on what is id selector. Okay, keep watching more over the css tricks.